So, continue. Okay. So, I believe you all know the story of Modi'in. So, I will start with a brief explanation about where we are.
No, we don't know the story of Modine, so you have to explain it to us.
Okay, very good. Very good. So, we'll do. Well, basically, the city of Modi'in is quite unique because the Maccabees, the heroes, the Maccabees, Matityahu, the father of the five Maccabees, the five heroes, basically started here the rebellion against the Greeks, against the Antiochus. So a brief geographical sightseeing. So now we are looking to the south. So this is the south part of Modi'in. That will be the west, of course, with the sun. That will be the north part, and that will be the east part of Modi'in. So Modi'in is very unique because this is where Matityahu, the father of Yehuda Maccabi and Jonathan and Shimon and Yochanan and Elazar and all those brave Jews 2,500 years ago, started a rebellion against the Antiochus, against the Greeks, the Hellenism regime, who started to give restrictions to the Jews. Um, that Jews couldn't keep kosher, couldn't keep Shabbat anymore, couldn't have milah, couldn't have bar mitzvahs, couldn't have all those traditions. And this is right here where Matityahu Hashmonai came with the famous call, Mila Adonai Elai. Mila Adonai Elai, which means if you want to follow God, follow me. Um, and this is where the Maccabees and the Hashmonaim family started the war against the Greeks, the Hellenism regime, approximately 2,500 years ago. So today we are in Modin. It's in between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Okay, so I would say it is 15, 60 miles from Tel Aviv to the west and 15, 60 miles to Jerusalem. So we are right in the middle, not too far away from Ben Gurion Airport. And today, when they've built the city in Modin, by the way, Rabin, Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, late Prime Minister Rabin, took the decision to build the city in Modin in 1994. And he had serious problem building the city of Modin. By the way, this is the city where I live since I got back from Phoenix for my shlichut. I know Phoenix now it's a little fragile, but yes, I lived there for a few years. But you see, I'm wearing the right shirt, so we're all in the same team. Anyway, uh, so Rabin had this really hard time to build the city of Modi'in. Why? Because the religious parties in the Knesset, in the Israeli government, told them, listen, this is a very ancient sacred place. And every place you're gonna grave, you're gonna start to build houses and buildings, you're gonna find graves. And they were right. They were right. You're gonna find some ancient Jewish graves and villages. And guess what? They were right. They were absolutely right, because our tour today is one of those villages that they recover when they started to establish the city of Modi'in in 1994. So today our tour is in the 2,500 years Jewish village from the time of the Maccabees, from the time of the Hashmonaim, from the Hellenistic period in Israel. And this place is El Umdan. This is the name of the place. Okay, right here. And we're going to tour this place today. We're going to see the Bet Knesset. We're going to see the mikveh. We're going to see the different things that they had in this village. And guess what? They find coins, Jewish coins from that time. Those specific coins are from Meret Bar Kochva, little further in history, but they found them right here. So where we are regarding the historic timeline. So we are right here, okay? The Hellenistic period when the Hashmonaim. So we're talking like um, 332, 167 before Christ. Okay, so BC. Okay, so follow me, and we'll go to our ancient village where our forefathers lived here. Can you believe this? 2,500 years ago. Wait, I'm going to show you my past. It will be more interesting. 2,500 years ago, a little Jewish village from the time of the Maccabees, right here in Modi'in. Isn't that amazing? So we'll go not more than 1-2 minutes to the village itself, and today it's Friday, so not a lot of people will be at this time in our village. So I believe we will be mostly by our own. But sometimes people come over and spend the afternoon here in this village. Okay, so this is the path right here, and we'll get it to the entrance of the village in a few moments. Okay. Uh, so when the archaeologist, I will take this away. So when the archaeologist um, started to dig and found this Jewish village from the Second Temple period, they put this rock right here, and they figured out that this is the entrance to the village. So today, welcome to Umdan, a Jewish village from the Second Temple period. And now, I don't know if you saw, I'm not shaved. We are Ben HaMetzarim, right? Between the siege in Jerusalem and the destruction, Tisha B'Av. So our tour is really relevant to Tisha B'Av next week. So this is the entrance to our little village. So basically, I'm going west now. And the first stop of our tour will be right here. So what we see here, first of all, we see vineyards, we see grapes, and you'll understand soon why those leaves that you see right here, they are all vineyards. Okay, we'll get to this in a moment. At the beginning, I would like to share with you like an overseen of the Jewish village from the Second Temple. So this is basically the village. Okay, we are right here. That was the path I took. Okay, right here, and now we're here. Okay, so I will give you a few moments. Um, just having a brief explanation so you can read and you can explore together with me some information about Umdan. Agricultural remains from the village include network of streets, synagogue that we're going to see, a mikveh that we're going to see. So hopefully, I hope that you're gonna like our tour today. Okay. So we'll go to this part of the explanation.
Maybe read it a little bit because some of it is a little blurry.
Okay. I'll give you some highlights. Um, the village was sealed beneath earth. Okay, so this is why archaeologists needed to dig to find this village. And they found it 21 years ago, 21 years ago. The archaeologists suggested identifying the Jewish village with the Ottoman site of Modin. Here you go. We are right here. So, Hellenistic period, right here. And as you can see, our Jewish village from those days started right here, approximately 150 years before BC, and Herodian period, of course, zero, destruction of the temple. We talked about Tisha B'Av next week. So this is like the time frame of our village here. So what is our first station? So vineyards, of course, grapes, right? And why we still have grapes? You'll be amazed. Like 2,500 years ago didn't pass, because the first thing I would like to share with you, can you believe this? This is a vineyard. This is where they step on the grapes right here on this platform that you see on our screen, right here. They step on the grapes like this. They step on it, step on it, step on it. And the grapes went from here to this little hole here. And from the hole to the bucket right here.
David, are
Okay,
those
so
still grape leaves?
yeah, yes, absolutely. Can you believe this? These are grape leaves, absolutely. Yeah. All of this is grape leaves. Can you believe? Like, it's unbelievable. And right next to the agriculture sites of the vineyard of what I'm just showing you, of the two holes where they kept the wine right here. This is one, and this is the second one. The second one have kept a better. You see, we have we have a, we can see the hole where the juice and you see that the leaves. Those are grape leaves. Can you believe this? Now we'll try to reach the sign through the grape wine. You see, this is what they did. This is exactly what I told you. Wine press. So they press the wine on the platform, and the juice is going to the holes. This one and this one. Isn't that cool? Okay, so they of course didn't have only grapes. They needed to plant trees. So here we're in the backyard. Any questions about the wine press? Well, let's see it from the other angle. So this is one hole, and this is the second hole. Okay, so this is the backyard of our village, and this is where they've planted trees. So they reduplicate it. They plant trees, almond trees, and fruit trees, and rimonim. How you call them? Grenades. How you say it? Rimonim.
Pomegranates.
Well, thank you,
Pomegranates. Yeah.
thank you, Tanya. And you see, it's they are going to be ready for Rosh Hashanah in 2 months. So now they're still kind of green, but in 2 months from now, they will be perfect. So different trees in the backyard. So as you can see, the backyard is pretty cool. It's pretty good, and this is where they plant different fruit trees, um, and all they needed to supply their food, so they can live in their village. So it's pretty big. It's a You see, I'll take you to the backyard. Uh, So it starts here where you see the stones. I will reach the stones because it's defined the backyard from the place where they live. So the backyard starts right here and goes all the way to the east. Okay, so that was the 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 section in the village where they, this is, for example, a olive tree, of course. See, we can see the olives. You can see the olives right here. They will be ready in October for the mesik. We call it the mesik when we take the olives out from the trees. So this is like the agriculture backyard of the village. You see, it's pretty big. So I'm walking and walking, and it's. Can you believe how straight it is, and how they really build it nicely and properly. Okay, so this is the wall of the backyard. Okay, so I'll go back now. We have tzlafim, how you call it? I don't know, coppers maybe? Coppers. Tzlafim in Hebrew. Okay, so we'll go now back to our path, and we'll continue to move into the village. Okay, move it a little bit forward. There you go. Now we're good. Again, grapes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you the grapes. Look at this. Yeah, look at the grapes. Huh? I bet they're good. I'm going to try one. Look at the grapes. Let's take just one. There you go. A little bit sour, not too sweet, but they will be soon. Okay, so now we continue west, and we're getting further into the village. So after the vineyard and after the agriculture backyard, now this is the place where they lived actually. Here in this very spot, I know it's difficult because the camera is towards the sun, so I'll try to move it a little bit so you can see where actually their homes were. So when we're done with the part of so that was the part of the backyard of the trees, and they lived here. Their houses, as you can see, the dwelling houses, you can see right here. So I'll give you a little explanation. Okay, so this is the country yard that we talked about right here, and this is the country yard, and now we are here. We are right here, and this is where the houses. This is actually right here they used to live. Their houses were here. Of course, stone houses, very, just a few houses, just few stones, just to give them a protection from, animals, maybe the heat. But actually right here, this is, for example, a ruin of a house right here. So I'm going to do it very slowly. You can see it wasn't too big, but this is how they protect themselves. They put one stone above another, and they live right in the middle, right here. Okay, there's another room right here. Right here, there's another one. And what is nice that you can see this mountain right in front of us, and the mountains really kept the wind out of them. So they have like this natural protection from the wind, because usually the wind is coming from the west. So this mountain right here, so it's not a coincidence that they've decided to build a village right here, because now we're looking to the west. Of course, you can see the sun, and the mountain that you see above the village is protecting the village, and then the grapes and the agriculture and everything they did here from the wind, from the western winds. Okay, so now we're moving further in the village. So we left the houses, the residence section, and not too far away from the residence section, you see, this is the path, the main street uh, of our village. And our next stop, and this is how we know it's a Jewish village, because our next stop is the kosher stand. Yeah, it's like, it's ours. No questions, no doubts about it. And it can be nobody's else, because this is the Bet Knesset, right? This is the synagogue of the village. And we have agricultural proofs, of course. And I will let you, for a few minutes, the information about our synagogue. So first, we're gonna read some highlights about the explanation of the synagogue, and then we're gonna have a little tour in it. Okay. Uh,
David, did it say anywhere like how many people lived in this village?
well, as you can see, it's not too big. So I would say approximately a few families, around 100, 150 families lived right here. It's not a big village. Um, so why they needed a synagogue? So during the Second Temple period, the synagogue was used to symbolize and for communal Torah reading and study. Following the destruction of the temple, synagogues were rather the mere minor centuries and became more important places of worship and other community activities back then. So this was like the downtown of the village, because everybody came here and read the Torah and have discussions and arguments, and we should do this and we should do that. So was like the JCC, the Jewish community center of our village. What else can I tell you about the synagogue? Okay. Uh, conservation work concentrated on the remains from this period. Okay. So, as a synagogue today, can you believe this? As today, when people are getting together, are meeting each other, praying together, reading the Torah together, uh, like here in our um, village. So the synagogue rebuilt between the two revolts, of course, the Hashmonai revolts and the Bar Kokhba revolts, because between the two revolts, during the revolts, there was a war, of course. So between the two revolts, when they could have some peacetime, um, they rebuilt the synagogue. So this is a brief, like a picture of the synagogue. This is how it used to look like. Okay, so right here the entrance, and then the Amudim, the Sefer Torah, and the rabbi is praying right here. Okay. Okay, תקופה חשמונאית. So it was not only during the Hellenism time, it was during the Hashmonaim kingdom. Okay, so what we see here, we're gonna get into the synagogue. Okay, so of course you need to have a lot of imagination that this place was a synagogue. But as you can see, the stones are telling our story. Okay, this is where they sat. This is where they prayed. This is where they had all their discussions, their, I believe, arguments, disagreements, of course. Okay, and of course the columns. The columns are gone, but we have their base, the base of the columns right here. Here's another one. See those columns right here? Okay. So for example, I'm going to show, for example, this one right here, those two are right here. And this is how archaeologists uh, have, built their theories upon the ruins of the Bet Knesset. Okay, so we are close to Shabbat now. So can you imagine 2,500 years ago, people came here and did their Shabbat, and now soon I'm going to do it. Uh, so many years after, that's pretty amazing. And people are still arguing about the existence of the state of Israel and the right of the Jewish people to live in Israel. So our last stop uh, will be, of course, the mikveh. So we will go to the mikveh, who is right next to the Bet Knesset, right next to the synagogue. And of course, again, our sign, the mikveh, first century. It was in the backyard of the synagogue. They found two stamps that are telling the story of the vineyards that we started our tour with, and this is how we know that this is another proof that it was throughout the Halacha Yehudit, yeah, throughout the Jewish tradition and uh, and religion as well. So I'm going to let you read the explanation of the mikveh, and afterwards I'm going to show you the mikveh. I hope my hand is steady enough.
You're good.
Okay. Okay, my friends. So let's see the mikveh. Let's go down. Let's take the stairs and let's go down to the mikveh. So our forefathers, our ancestors were pretty short because, as you can see, the entrance to the mikveh. Well, I'm going to show you how small it is. You see, this is me. I'm not that big, but you can see that the entrance of the mikveh is my head is like, okay, over the entrance of the mikveh. So, but they went in. This is how they went in. This is the entrance, and this is the pool right here. These are the stairs. These are the stairs to the mikveh. I hope you get a good side of it, a good impression of it. When it rains in Modin, so you have water in it, so it's kind of renewing the mikveh. Because you see, we are kind of below the path. So this is the path that we walked in before. This is the synagogue right here. So when it rains, rains, the water is falling from those stones, those stairs. This is crazy, man. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so the nature is helping us to renew, to relive our ancestors' village. Okay, okay, my friends. What do you think about our village? Did you like it? Did you like the explanation and the tour and the Bet Knesset? If you have any questions, I'll be happy to.
I'm just asking here if our residents have questions. Any questions for David? Yeah. Miss Ruth says at 2 o'clock this morning, she'll think of all the questions for you. But until now, she says we're all good, and just beautiful sights. And I have grapevine in my backyard, and I wish I had the stomping grounds and everything that goes with it. So
Yeah, but your grapes or whatever, your little vineyard is not this old.
oh, nothing in America practically is that old, you know. So, oh, I so get it. I would. Do we know if they're white grapes or red grapes?
they are white. I mean, now they are white, but I couldn't tell 2,500 years ago. I believe they were white, but you know, I couldn't tell. So,
Okay, and they're not
but
ripe.
Excuse me.
They're not ripe yet, I'm sure.
No.
No. So
yeah,
they're
there will
probably
be soon.
still green.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Vita, I don't know if it said anywhere on the signage or if you know anything. You know, because it's a small village and because thousands of years ago they were very far away from any other major city in Israel.
Right.
You don't know by any chance what their source of income was.
Well, basically, I believe they went to the market in Jerusalem.
Okay.
Because they are not too far away from Jerusalem, and even with a camel or with a donkey or with whatever they had, it's like, I would say 4 or 5 hours ride to the market to Jerusalem. So I believe all the agriculture, goods that they produced here, I believe that they went to the market and sold it in Jerusalem. It's not too far away. If you, basically, I'm going to show you. These are, I'm going to show you. I hope you can see, maybe if I'll zoom in a little bit my camera, you can see Arei Yerushalayim. So these are Arei Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim mountains. So yeah, it's not that far. It's not that far. This is like the west entrance of Jerusalem. So it's not that far.
Hey, David, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So when you're walking around, the topography reminds me of where you used to live in America, in Arizona. And, you know, can you draw a comparison between where you are in Israel right now and like the Sonoran Desert? Is it similar at all?
Except the heat. Only the heat. But well, it is, you know why they give when they did the partition plan in 1947, you know why they give to the Jews the desert? Because they understood that only the Jews could come with something out of the desert. So it is quite similar, because Israel from here, if you go south, exactly where I'm showing right now in my camera, if you go south from here towards Kiryat Gat, towards Beer Sheva, which it's not too far away from here, it's only 40, 50 kilometers. So this is where the desert starts. So is it similar? Yes and no, because Of course, we have the Mediterranean, so they could go, and they are not too far away from the Mediterranean. As I said, they are 15, 16 miles. So I believe some of them went fishing to the Mediterranean as well. And because the Mediterranean is not too far away, so there is a slight difference between Arizona and Israel here in Modi'in, which is the Shfela. It's like the south center part of Israel. But if you go a little bit south from here, exactly what I'm showing my camera, so you start the beginning of the Negev, because Beersheba, it's the beginning of the Negev. And the Jews accepted the 1947 plan, the partition plan of 1947, because they believed, and Ben-Gurion was the leader of that idea, of this vision, that this is where the Jewish people will be tested, because this is where the Jewish people will need to come with something out of from the desert, and they knew that nobody else except us would be able to live in the desert, to be able to have agriculture in the desert. And as you know, today the desert is flourishing. Beersheba is flourishing, and Ofakim and Dimona and all those cities in the desert. And yes, Israel is a desert, and Arizona is a desert. So there are some similarities and as well some differences between the two.
Thank you.
Uh, Ruth wants to know if there's any fish in the waters.
Oh yeah, of course, in the Mediterranean, of course. There are we all know that Gaza, for example, the fishermen from Gaza are going. The IDF is letting them go and fish in the Mediterranean. Of course, certain they are not free to do to go whatever they want, but they have like 4 or 5 miles, and they can go and fish. And of course, Israelis as well, fishermen in Israel, in Jaffa, in Haifa, in different places in Israel are fishing in the Mediterranean, and the people are making a living out of it. People are making a living out of it, selling the fish in the markets, restaurants.
How close to the Mediterranean are you at this right now where you are?
Well, I will show my camera to the west, and I will go a little bit. I will climb a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the sightseeing. But Tel Aviv is 15, 16 miles west from here, and it's a valley. So you have no mountains from here. Well, you have little mountains like this one, but if you take the Highway 1, you will reach Tel Aviv in well, of course, without traffic, about 20 minutes. You will reach the Mediterranean from the spot that I'm here right now. So you have Rishon LeZion, you have Tel Aviv, you have Bat Yam, and all of them are approximately between 20 and 25 minutes from here. Of course, without traffic. With traffic, it can be much more difficult.
As we know. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So this is where Jews fought the Greek Empire. And can you believe one of the Israeli members right now, the member of the Knesset, last week, wanted to run a legislation that Jews cannot put tefillin in public places. Can you believe? So 2,500, we fought the Roman and we fought the Greek to do it, and now the Israeli Knesset says no, it's offending that the Jews will put tefillin. So the journey of the Jewish people. Okay, but this is another story. Okay, so I want to wish you all a very good Shabbat. Take a good rest. Have good food.
Oh, one more question, please.
Yes. I'm here. I'm here with you.
What kind of animals, farm animals, would be raised around here?
So we know from the Bible, and we know from the stories of David HaMelech, I think it's approximately the same animals: sheep, cows, zim,
goats.
Goats. Yeah, basically from the Torah, we know that King David was a shepherd, and we know from the Torah that those were the animals that used to live in those days, and I believe so here, right here as well. And they provide them whatever they needed.
Mhm. Anything else?
Wondering what they've got to graze on.
Uh,
I don't see anything for grazing on.
we don't see anything that the animals would graze on, but I'm sure
It's
that
it's a good question, and I'm going to show you the environment. So all of this environment that you see right here, and I will go a little bit higher so you can see. This is where the shepherds took their animals, and this is where they got the food for them. Okay, because we are living in the middle of a countryside. This is all a countryside, even though now you have a modern city of Modi'in. But after those trees, I'm going to show you, the shepherds could easily took their animals. You see all those mountains right here? I'll try to stand for a second and zoom in a little bit. So I hope you can see the forest back in. So I'll stand. Okay, so please ignore the houses, but as you can see, if now it's kind of a countryside of Israel, you see there's no houses. So imagine that 2,500 years ago, it was all
it's
for the animals. Yeah,
all
so they
pasture.
could, yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
pasture. Yeah.
You walking along there are poles I saw, and on top of the poles look like solar collectors. Are those free lights for the parking area?
Are the poles? They look like they're all lights, and are they solar powered?
Now? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, of course now. Of course now. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
All of them are solar power. If I zoom in, this is, for example, a basketball court right here. So all the lights, as you can see, are solar power. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope you can see it. I hope I'm close enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is a basketball court right down here. Well,
All
I'm
right.
still trying to make some trees. I used to have better percentage, but I'm can still make a few. It's okay.
All right. All right. We could use you on the box.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, after 2-0, yeah, I believe they need some.
Yeah, we need some help, David. Jump in there. Everyone is saying thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for being with me.
It's a great way to start our Friday, and we look forward to more. So
Wow, this was excellent.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Such a pleasure being with you.
Thank
Such a
you.
pleasure telling you the story of our wonderful people and our wonderful state. Thank you
And
for
this is
being with me.
and your
This is so
hometown.
amazing.
This is
Yes,
where
as
you
well.
live.
As
Yeah.
well. Actually, wait. I'm gonna show you where I live. There are no houses over there. Wait. I'll turn my camera. Okay. Okay. Wait. Doesn't turn. Please turn. Yes. So the
Okay.
house is right there. This is where I live. Right here.
All right, we'll be over for dinner. Shabbat.
Absolutely. You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you
my
so
dear friends.
much. Shabbat
Such a
shalom.
pleasure being with you. Shabbat shalom, my friend from Israel. God bless you all. God protect you all.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank